Commander's Log. Stardate 150614. How's everybody doing this week? This guy is doing awesome. The House Commander has returned. Picked her up Friday. Or, excuse me, her transport came in Friday. I met her, picked her up. Oh my God. I'm glad to have her back. I am glad to have her back. I'm glad she enjoyed her time home. I wish it would have been for different circumstances, but it is what it is. What can we do? All right. This week's entry is sponsored by the Facebook page Live Long and Prosper, commanded by Captain Christine Hope, inspiring all around the world for peace and long life. Keep in mind, your mind matter. Live long and prosper. Good words, good sentiment. You know what? What the heck? This is the sponsor. That's not her personalized shirt, but hey, it works. Yeah, happens. All right. I don't know about y'all. I'm thirsty this week. And it's later than usual, so I need to cut back on the caffeine a little bit. Let me just go ahead and replicate that beverage now. There we go. Perfect. Winter Spice Herbal Tea. Cheers to you all. Kapla, as they say in the Klingon Empire. Ooh, that's good. That's good. All right. Got started out with the birthday greetings as always. First greeting was was one I missed from last week. Actually, I apologize for that. The lovely Sydnie Kirk on the 7th. Sid, I understand you hit a grand slam last week. Congratulations to you. The Prosper salute. Happy birthday. And enjoy something like this. All right. Next on the list, from the 8th. I knew this guy in jolly old England. He's a metal shaper. Will Hickey. Will, how you doing, bud? How's life treating you? Hope things are going good for you. Saw where you've got 2 beautiful little girls now. Just 2? Is there a third one on the way? I don't know. Hey, Will, congratulations to you. Happy birthday. I hope you had a good one. I hope Anna spoiled the crap out of you. You, my friend, deserve it. And I drink to you. Next up on the list. From the 9th. I know this gal here. She's actually expecting a baby girl. She's expecting a baby girl. Congratulations to her and her family. Talking about Kryssy Zest. Know her here at Earth Station Okinawa. Kryssy, I hope your birthday was a good one. I hope your husband spoiled you. I really do. You deserve it. My friend, in your current condition, drink some tea with me. All right. The other birthday from the 9th. I've mentioned him before on here. He's a big old Star Wars nut. Wendell Brown. Now, some of you might remember him as the guy that I owed some beer to because I didn't believe the island of Yap existed. The island of Yap does indeed exist, and I was finally able to meet up with him and get him his bounty, that 6-pack of Mexican pea beer. But hey, anyway, Wendell, my friend, happy birthday to you. Hope you're doing okay. It was good catching up with you the other day. I look forward to talking to you again. Hey, let's drink. All right, next on the list, from the 11th. Now, this gal was actually one of my neighbors here at Earth Station Okinawa. Suzanne Pollack, or Susie. Susie, my dear, I saw you just finished a leadership course of sorts. One of those classes designed to make you a better leader. I don't know. Did you get anything from it? I think you did. I really think you did, judging from that iron you were hoisting afterwards. Hey, Susie, congratulations to you. The Prosper salute, as always. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope John spoiled you on your birthday. And to you, I drink. All right, next on the list, from the 12th. She's my wife's dear sweet cousin, Kayli Tracy. Kayli, how was your birthday, my dear? I hope it was a good one. I hope life's going well for you. For the life of me, I can't remember what grade you're in school. But hey, I look forward to seeing you again when the wife and I come home in November. And hey, happy birthday. All right, next on the list. I've known this gal my entire life. I'm talking about Alice Riggleman. Now, I grew up with her daughters. And my dad and her husband actually are brothers. Fellow Masonic brothers. But hey, Alice, I hope you had a happy birthday, my dear. I hope Jan spoiled you. And hey, let me know how it's going sometime. Hit me up. I drink to you. That was weird. My computer hiccuped. Oh well. All right. The last birthday from today, actually. I've known her a good chunk of my life. My grandparents, and I want to say, your parents? Your parents or your grandparents are best friends? I don't know. I'm talking about Judy. I'm gonna get this wrong. Wallon. I want to say it's Whalen. Might be Wallen. I knew her as Judy Fry. Judy, I hope your birthday was good. I hope your birthday was a good one. It was good. It was good seeing you and your mother back when I was home the last time. And hey, I drink to you, my dear. Happy birthday. All right. Birthday greetings. Extended. Now, these next 5 people, these next 5 friends of mine, they all have one thing in common. They all got a job promotion this past week. These first 4, I knew while I was in Germany. Joe Stone, Justin McCullough, Daniel Coker, Kevin Rainier, and this guy I work with here at Earth Station Okinawa, Matt Thompson. Gentlemen, congratulations to you. You 5 have definitely earned your promotions, your job promotions. I give you the Prosper Salute, and I drink to you. Congratulations, gentlemen. You've earned it. Now, yeah, that's all I got. You've earned it. Congratulations. Now I'm going to drink. My computer hiccuped again. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and apologize now if this entry is kind of laggy. My computer's doing something real weird I've never seen it do before. All right. Let's talk about additional greetings have been extended. Let's talk about this week in Trek history, shall we? Only got 4 entries this week. June 9th, 1989. What some consider the biggest turd in Star Trek history was released in the United States. Star Trek V, as Jason Alexander referred to it once, Star Trek V, the death of a franchise. I see it. At the same time, I take it for what it is. It's better than Star Trek the Motion Picture. But if you look at the motion picture for what it was, that was designed to get the crew, to get Star Trek from the small screen to the big screen. But hey, it is what it is. I don't care. I actually kind of enjoy it. I like watching it every now and then. It is what it is. All right, sad one here. Sad one here. June 11th, 1999. DeForest Kelley passed away of stomach cancer. He was the first of what is so far. He is the first of 5 so far to have gone where no man has gone before, to that undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns. DeForest Kelley, may you rest in peace. 16 years ago, I still remember. I was still stunned when I heard the news. But hey, life goes on. It is what it is. You probably went up there and started making the mint juleps for everybody else. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. December? Ugh. Yeah, right. That'd be a time warp. June 13th, 1943. Malcolm McDowell was born. He's 72 years old. Now, who's he, you might be wondering. He is the man that is notorious for killing Captain Kirk. He played Tolian Soren, who killed Captain Kirk in Star Trek Generations. Personally, I think that was a bold move, but that earned him a place in the history books. Hey, it is what it is. And on June 14th, 1997, 2 stars from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Nana Visitor and Alexander Siddig, tied the knot. They became husband and wife. Unfortunately, That marriage didn't last. They divorced in 2001, 2 years after Deep Space Nine ended. All right. Folks, there was a poll on StarTrek.com, and I have the results. It was actually kind of close. No, not really. The StarTrek.com asked in a poll, who is your favorite Wrath of Khan character? Your choices were Khan, Spock, Kirk, Saavik, Bones, Scotty, Chekhov, Uhura, David Marcus, or Sulu. All right? And I have the results. 38% of voters said Khan was their favorite character, whereas 26% felt Spock was their favorite character in that movie. 16% thought Admiral Kirk was their favorite character. However, 8% were rather favorable of Saavik. That was Kirstie Alley's first major motion picture role, by the way. 4% of you liked Dr. McCoy, while 23 less, still at 4%, felt Scotty was good in that movie. 2% of you, 161 said Chekhov was their favorite. 127 liked Uhura. 79 were fond of David Marcus. And 57 of you liked Sulu. Oh my. Had to throw that one in there. All right, folks. Time to move into the database, shall we? This week, probably the first Star Trek sequel ever made. The episode, Mudd. Harry Mudd, now ruler of a planet of androids, captures the Enterprise and attempts to imprison Kirk for revenge. Fascinating. Let's go behind the scenes. Possible inspirations for the title include I, Robot, Isaac Asimov's 1950 android-themed short story collection, the title of which itself was inspired by I, Robot. Eando Bender's 1939 short story with an android hero, which had been adapted for TV in 1964 with Leonard Nimoy in a supporting role. I believe that was an episode of The Outer Limits. Joshua Baker, I want you to verify that for me and post it up down in the comments. Another possible inspiration for the title, I, Claudius, a 1934 novel by Robert Graves about the life of the Roman Emperor Claudius, the 1976 BBC production which featured Patrick Stewart. Like Mudd, the first in this episode, the subject of I, Claudius, is also a despotic ruler who views himself in a more flattering light. Another possible inspiration for the title are lines from Kurt Vonnegut's 1963 novel Cat's Cradle, which detailed the creation myth of Bokenism. I, Mudd, sat up and saw what a nice job God had done. Fascinating. The first draft of the script devoted more attention to Norman's act of diverting the Enterprise to Mudd, with the crew only arriving at the end of the second act. After the examination revealed Norman as an android, Scotty expressed an urge to take Norman apart, quickly adding that it was nothing personal. Norman understood. Nice. David Gerrold did an uncredited rewrite of this episode. One of the significant changes he made, at Gene Coon's request, was to get the crew on the planet by the end of the first act. Other notable contributions were the gag of the 500 identical female robots and more material relating to Stella. Coon offered to submit the script for arbitration so that Gerrold would receive credit and residuals. However, Gerrold declined as he felt it would be stealing from Stephen Candle, who created Harry Mudd. Classy move. It's a classy move on your part. Using identical twins for each Android series aided the photographic effects budget for this episode. With imaginative use of twins and split screens, as many of 6 of one model were shown at once, while 2 of the same model required nothing but an additional costume. This ultimately gave the illusion of a planet of thousands of androids. Very nice. While searching for identical twins to play androids, casting director Joseph D'Agasta found 2 young girls, apparently prostitutes, walking on Hollywood Boulevard with their pet wild cat. He brought the 2 girls to meet Gene Kuhn and associate producer Bob Justman. When they inspected the girls, Kuhn had to hold the wild cat, named Marlin, which consequently scratched him with his claws and tore his entire shirt. The girls were deemed unsuitable for the role. Just because of the wild cat, or was it actually because of the girls? We'll never know. Both men are probably dead at this point. One of the blooper reels offered a behind-the-scenes look at the filming of the sequence where the crew dances to the imaginary music. The blooper reel clip featured actual music, specifically the theme to the Desilu Paramount series Mannix. The original series' season 2 blooper reel contains a blown scene from this episode in which Harry declares his androids to have taken control of the Enterprise. In the aired scene, William Shatner grabs Roger C. Carmel by his tunic as if ready to throttle him. In the blooper, Shatner reaches up and grabs Carmel's mustache, and as Carmel laughs, apparently surrendering with arms raised, Shatner turns and grins at the camera, his eyebrows waggling. That's funny. I've actually seen that. That's funny. If you haven't seen Roger Carmel, yes, the man had an epic mustache in both episodes. I don't know if you heard that, but that was the house commander. Anyway, the episode, which used string and brass melodies to capture both the humor of the situations and Kirk's serious intent, was composed by Samuel Matlovsky's only Star Trek assignment. Excuse me, that was composer Matlovsky's only Star Trek assignment. Besides his cues, the episode also used recycled music from various episodes by Fred Steiner, Gerald Fried, most notably Cat's Paw, and Sol Kaplan, excerpt from the Doomsday Machine score, during the scene where Uhura spoils the plot to get back on board. A short segment from George Dunning's score from Metamorphosis can also be heard when Chekhov laments on Mudd's planet being better than Leningrad. The piece of equipment found in Norman's lab and workshop would be recycled for future episodes. According to the corridors of the Enterprise, appearing in the corridors of the Enterprise. Parts of the device that contained the nanopulse laser were later seen in Dr. McCoy's lab. A large number of costumes are reused from previous installments. The Annabelle series android is wearing the costume originally worn by Marlis Burdett in Wolf in the Fold. It's possible the performer playing the part was actually Burdett herself. Imagine that. The Trudy series is wearing a costume worn by another Argelian woman in the same episode. The Maisie series and the Barbara series androids are wearing costumes left over from Mudd's women, worn by Karen Steele and Maggie Threat, respectively. Ugh. Stella Mudd is wearing a dress with slight modifications, which was seen on Martha Layton in The Conscience of the King. The bodysuits worn by the male androids were later reused on Beale and Lokai in Let That Be Your Last Battlefield. This episode marks George Takei's last appearance in the series until Return to Tomorrow. During his 9-episode absence, Takei was on the East Coast filming The Green Berets. With the exception of those actors who played members of the Enterprise crew, Roger C. Carmel was the only actor to play the same character in more than one episode of the series. He actually had a major part in both his episodes, which is why I refer to this one as a sequel. This episode further establishes the time frame of Chekhov's assignment to the Enterprise. In Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, we learned that Chekhov was aboard when Space Seeds events took place. His question to Kirk, "You know this man, Captain?" tells us he was definitely not aboard when Harry Mudd made his first appearance. This episode marks one of 4 times Kirk is able to talk a computer to death. This skill is also used in The Changeling, The Return of the Archons, and The Ultimate Computer, with an honorable mention going to What Are Little Girls Made Of, in which Kirk's arguments get Ruck the android so riled up he suicidally attacks Corby. Last note for this one. According to Walter Koenig, NBC considered making a spin-off series detailing the comical adventures of Harry Mudd after the success of this episode. They assigned Gene Roddenberry to develop the idea, but being busy with Star Trek and other projects, he didn't have time for it, and the series was never conceived. However, Mudd appears in a cartoon version of Star Trek up to his usual tricks. That, my friends, is I'm Mudd in a nutshell. In more than a nutshell, but hey. It's a good one. Let me finish this here beverage. Ew, almost. Hang on. All right, let's drive her home. Devoid of life is the brain cells of the average Sequest fan. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure, as always, to come to you via YouTube. But it is time for me to make like the Enterprise and warp out. So y'all take care. Have an awesome night or day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, name it after me. Don't drink and drive because you might spill your drink. More importantly, you might kill yourself or someone else. And drinking and driving is dumber than being a Sequest fan. And what's worse than that is rooting for cheating crybabies like Tom. Giselle won't let me go to the Pro Bowl, and these balls are so heavy with all that air in it. Brady, men slapping women, racism, animal abuse, fake friends, people who watch on bets, or anyone who is a member of, supports, or defends the Westboro Baptist Church who tried to picket Leonard Nimoy's funeral but couldn't find it. I still think that's funny. Things like that are highly illogical, and I will not make time for them. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for having me in your homes and on your computers. And as always, live long and prosper.